Hi there, welcome to Finance Focus with Andrew, a platform where we engage in conversations that endeavor to enhance our financial literacy. In case you are coming across this channel for the first time, consider subscribing, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime we get to post a new financial tip. And we are still analyzing the Q3 CIS report by the Capital Market Authority. And in this particular video, we are going to see where the fund managers invested your money. The different asset classes that the fund managers placed your money, so that even if you don't want to go through the fund managers way, you get to understand some of the asset classes that you can consider when it comes to creation of passive income. And the total amount that was being managed by all the fund managers was 679 billion by the 30th of September 2025. Where was the money invested? And from the table, you can see that the biggest chunk of the money was invested in government securities. Government securities are the treasury bills and the treasury bonds. So, and this gets me to a very interesting conversations that there is someone who have a money market fund, there is someone who has a special fund, but they say that they cannot invest in government securities because they don't trust this government. But the money you deposit in your money market fund, the money you deposit into the special fund, the money that you deposit in that other collective investment scheme, at the end of the day, it gets its way to the to the government securities. So do you choose to go the agent way because it is like you are using an agent, or is it time that you get to consider to go and buy the bonds and the bills directly? Because out of 679 billion, 309 billion was invested in government securities. That is 45.6% of the total assets under management. And the class number 2 was fixed deposits. These are fixed deposits majorly provided by the commercial banks. But why it might not be the best thing for you to do to go for a fixed deposit as an individual, is there is something that you need to consider, that money gives you power, money gives you an opportunity to talk, money gives you an opportunity to negotiate. If you appear to your commercial bank today with 100,000 and you tell them that you want to fix you want a fixed deposit, they will give you a rate that is take or leave. So if you don't want the 4% that you are giving you can leave. There is no negotiating power. You cannot negotiate the rate. But now you are talking about a collective investment scheme that they are approaching a bank with 1 billion. They want to fix that money. Definitely they have the negotiating power, because if they don't get a better return, they will move to the competitor, and the bank does not want that. So after the funds are collected, they can be able to fetch better returns in the fixed deposits than what you can fetch as an individual. So maybe going through a money market fund instead of going for a fixed deposit as a small scale investor might be a good option. Now, at number 3, I think the next one, if I'm not wrong, is cash and demand deposits. Definitely some of these collective investment schemes have some flexibility. They are liquid, so they need cash so that they can be able to sort their day-to-day issues. That there is someone who is withdrawing money from a money market fund right now. So that is the reason as to why you need money. They need to hold some cash so that they can be able to sort the daily demands. The next one I think that follows is the offshore unlisted investments. Those are investments that are not listed in the securities exchange in the foreign countries. So quite a chunk of money was invested there, and that is definitely by the special funds, because it is them that have that freedom. Because remember, all these collective investment scheme, what differentiates them is where can they invest their money after collecting their money? A very good example is the money market fund, where they are limited to major government securities. But when you go to the special funds, they have the freedom of investing in even foreign countries. Then what follows there is unlisted securities. These are companies that have not been listed in the securities exchanges. The other one is listed securities. These are shares that exist in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Alternative investments. Of course, there are all other investments that are not mentioned in this particular set that the collective investment scheme have an option of investing in. So these are some of the asset classes that you can consider as an individual when it comes to creation of passive income. Because at the end of the day, it is where the fund managers took your money. So there are also the options that are available for you. So when you think about creating passive income, think about government securities, think about fixed deposits, think about shares, think about offshore shares. But all these now depends on your level of knowledge. Because remember, never try to invest in something that you don't understand. So what do you think is the best asset class that can all that suits you? Because I believe there is no asset class that fits everyone. There is no investment is not a best shoe fit for everyone. So it depends on it depends from an individual to the other. So let me know in the comment section your best asset class that you can consider, and also tell me, why do you have a money market fund but you cannot invest in government securities simply because you don't trust this government? Let's engage.